Part 6. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 51. At this moment, all the worlds could not help but marvel at this scene. This Tang San, I have to say, is really consistent in his treatment of love. Not to mention, although Tang San is not a good person, he is very good for Xiao Wu. This Tang San, this is the only thing worth talking about. Don't tell me, this scene is quite tragic. At this time, in the Doluo plain, Xiao Wu was also the one who saw this scene. Elder brother, in the eyes of ice and fire, Xiao Wu was hidden here by poisoned Doluo. At this moment, looking at herself and Tang San in the screen, Xiao Wu almost blacked out and fainted. She never expected that the third brother had given everything for herself. He had completed a promise once made. If you want to catch Xiao Wu, you have to step over his body. He is really protecting her with his life. At this moment, Xiao Wu was so moved that she burst into tears. She couldn't wait to go to Wuhan Hall now and rescue her 3 Gagi. This little monster, even though it was poisoned Doluo, looking at Tang San in the picture, he was a little shocked. Tang San was indeed a person of the most passionate nature. At the same time, in the Wuhan Hall, unexpectedly, you are still an infatuated person. Goi Doluo looked at the scene. Tang San sacrificed his life for Xiao Wu, and couldn't help but sigh. Tang San was silent, clenching his fists subconsciously, looking at Ghost Doluo coldly. It's a pity that you can't sacrifice your life for this girl now. Suddenly, Ghost Doluo smiled sadly, looked at Tang San and said, "What did you say?" Tang San was stunned for a moment and asked subconsciously, "Do you think His Majesty the Pope will let that rabbit go?" Ghost Doluo sneered, "Then what does it matter? No matter how fast the old ghost runs, we, the Spirit Hall, have a lot of people. Even if we turn the entire Stardew forest upside down, we still have to find that rabbit. Just wait for your beloved girl to become the sole ring under the Pope's crown." "No. You dare!" Tang San roared, his eyes turned scarlet again. He struggled desperately, but obviously, no matter how hard he struggled, it was useless. Tang San is really too weak now. He is just a soul sect, so what? In front of Ghost Doluo, he was really just a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. "Wuhan Palace, just wait for me." Tang San's eyes were blood red. "Even if Xiao Wu loses a hair, I will make your Spirit Hall pay the price with blood. I have heard this countless times." Ghost Doluo plucked his ears with great disdain, and slapped Tang San on the face again. "Tisk tisk, look at what you look like now. Don't you think you are like a cruel dog?" Ghost Doluo mocked. Tang San was so angry that he was trembling all over. But he really couldn't do anything. It's just that the ferocity in his eyes became deeper and deeper. When the reward comes, he will take this spirit palace. After taking over the pot, kill all the evil soul masters. Only then can we relieve the hatred in our hearts. At this time, in the Dao Gold List scene, Tang San sacrificed his life to save him, and Xiao Wu shed tears. At this moment, a flash of red light shot straight into the sky. Under such circumstances, Xiao Wu was the only one who could save Tang San. "Yes, Xiao Wu, I plan to sacrifice myself. Moreover, it is the most overbearing sacrifice. Sacrifice your soul, sacrifice everything you have. Only in this way can her 100,000-year soul ring be absorbed by Tang San. However, the price for doing so is, never being reincarnated. For Xiao Wu, Tang San can do it without hesitation, and for Tang San, Xiao Wu can do it without hesitation. Even if it means giving up his life and never being reincarnated, it's still worth it. It's all worth it." She moved closer to Tang San and gently hugged Tang San into her arms. At this moment, light merged into everything, and golden light surrounded Tang San. The broken leg grew back with the support of terrifying vitality. The gray hair also turned bright blue again. The life breath in the body also revived at this moment. A scarlet soul ring fell on Tang San. Not just soul rings, but also soul bones. At this moment, Tang San, who was at level 60, had a sixth soul ring, 100,000-year soul ring. He even had an attached soul bone, a skull, and 2 leg bones. He has even more soul bones than titled Duluo. The soul ring on his body is even more incredible. A 60-level soul saint possesses a red soul ring, 100,000-year soul ring. Cheating. This is simply cheating. First of all, the elders of the Haoshan sect said that they wanted Tang San to have a 100,000-year soul ring. But on the back foot, Tang San got it directly. The soul ring my wife gave me smells so damn good. At this moment, countless people in the Duluo plane, and even in all heavens and worlds, were envious. Is this the son of destiny? In a desperate situation, a powerful father comes to help. In a desperate situation, a wife comes out to sacrifice. Tisk tisk, I'm envious. I'm so envious, my wife will be killed if I get promoted and make a fortune. You're so awesome. Now, wouldn't Tang San be able to look for love everywhere? Hey. What love is not love? Our third child is dedicated to Xiao Wu and will resurrect Xiao Wu no matter what. Alas, what a pity, such a good wife was so cheap to Tang San. Alas, you can't say that. Although Tang San is not a good person, he is really devoted to his wife. In this regard, Xiao Yan, who is ranked 10th, cannot compare. Ha, that's all Tang San can say. By the way, Tang San is really good to Xiao Wu. He is willing to give up his life for Xiao Wu. I want to ask you, who can do this? Indeed, Tang San is really lucky. But it was also true love that moved Xiao Wu. By the way, if you can't even protect your own woman, what kind of lucky child is this? Haha, it's so funny that you made so many mistakes, but in the end, you can't even protect your own woman? Hee. At this time, countless people were saying and mocking. Seeing Tang San come back from the dead, the sixth soul ring was still 100,000-year soul ring, and he had so many soul bones. It was really unbelievable. Immediately, everyone see, next, Tang San is going to take crazy revenge. The man-faced demon Spider King blocks their way. Tang San wants to kill. He also wants to kill the ghost Duluo and chrysanthemum Duluo of the Spirit Hall. Of course, he can't kill him now, but one day, he will kill Ju Duluo and ghost Duluo. Even, not only Ju Duluo and ghost Duluo, but also the Wuhan Palace. Those who have hurt Xiao Wu, he won't let anyone go. He wants to kill everyone. Of course, before that, he has to improve his strength. Upgrade his strength to a titled Duluo, so that he can completely destroy Wuhan Palace. Similarly, he can only improve his strength only after he reaches the titled Duluo can he resurrect Xiao Wu. When the Shrek 7 devils reunited again, except for Xiao Wu, they set off, under the guidance of the master, to go overseas. And here, it is the center of the entire Duluo plain. The holy land of cultivation. Poseidon Island. It's great to read books on May Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab a deposit now. Event time, April 29th to May 3rd. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 52. Poseidon Island. This time, going to Poseidon Island were Tang San, Dai Mubai, Zhu Zuking, Ma Hongjun, Oscar, Ning Rongrong, Bai Chenxiang, and Xiao Wu. Of course, this Xiao Wu is not the real resurrected Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu only had a body because of eating blood ginseng, and her soul could merge with her body for a short period of time. It was not a resurrection in the true sense, but she was still a human being after all. And this Poseidon Island, it is said that there are many soul beasts living here, as well as many strange soul masters. And here, Tang San and others accepted the 9th Poseidon exam. There is no doubt that this is another opportunity. Tang San and others took the first of the Poseidon's 9 exams and passed through the Poseidon's light. Within a month, their strength increased to level 70, and they obtained a 100,000-year God-given soul ring. Tang San was only at level 70 and already had 200,000-year soul rings. In terms of showing off, Tang San's soul ring could scare people to death if he stepped out. Then, he tempered his body, practiced for 5 months, and reached level 80. After that, he killed another 100,000-year soul beast, the evil killer whale, and absorbed its 100,000-year soul ring. At this point, Tang San's third 100,000-year soul ring appeared. Finally, after Tang San obtained the Poseidon Trident, his strength increased to level 85. Level 85 Soul Doluo, the soul rings are, yellow, yellow, purple, black, black, red, red, red. So scary. It's so scary. For someone else's titled Doluo, it would be great to have a 100,000-year soul ring. And Tang San, a soul Doluo, already had 300,000-year soul rings. This thing is simply outrageous. After that, Tang San left Poseidon Island and learned that the second Ming dynasty was being hunted by Bibi Dong and others. Bibi Dong's strength must be stronger, it was simply heaven-defying. Even though Tang San was very aggressive, there was no way he could resist Bibi Dong head-on. In addition, there are Ghost Doluo and Ju Doluo. As far as he and Xiao Wu's current situation is concerned, there is no way to go with the Ming dynasty and the Ming dynasty. So, make a sneak attack first. Tang San looked solemn and said nothing. Said that a direct sneak attack would kill Ghost Doluo directly and forcefully in just a blink of an eye. Yes, when it comes to sneak attacks, Tang San can be said to be the ancestor. After all, he is a member of the Tang sect, and what he loves most is sneak attacks. However, after a sneak attack, it means that the identity is exposed. A Ghost Doluo made Tang San reveal his true form. If he was facing an ordinary Doluo, Tang San would still have the possibility of winning. However, Tang San faced Bibi Dong and even the other 4 titled Doluo. The most important thing is that Bibi Dong is also very strong and has troubles. He has twin martial arts souls, one of which has reached level 99. Another martial soul has also been equipped with 7 soul rings, and each soul ring is more than 10,000 years old, 5 black and 2 red. The strength is so strong that it is simply unbelievable. It can be said that Tang San was in danger here. But obviously, Tang San is Tang San, and the son of luck is the son of luck. At that most critical moment, the Poseidon's brand came out, and the Poseidon's brand directly helped Tang San, repelling Bibi Dong. Tang San quickly left and found the Ming dynasty Ming. But obviously, at this time, the Ming dynasty Ming has reached the end of its strength. Therefore, De Ming and Ming chose to sacrifice themselves. Moreover, Tang Sanyi, in front of the Ming dynasty and the Ming dynasty, exploded the soul bone and resurrected Xiao Wu. Tang San obtained 2 more 100,000-year soul rings. The last soul ring of the Blue-Silver Emperor, 100,000 years. The first soul ring of the Clear Sky Hammer was also 100,000 years old. It can be said that Tang San today is simply unimaginable and extremely powerful. Even if Xiao Wu is resurrected, he still has absolute strength. Even if he peels off Xiao Wu's soul bone, he still has the soul bones of De Ming and Ming. Tang San is already invincible. He combines the destiny of heaven and earth, and is terrifyingly powerful. His twin martial souls and soul rings are both heaven-defying. This is simply the difference between Krypton Gold players and civilian players. Bibi Dong also seemed eclipsed in front of this kind of plug-in. Even if the scene changed and she saw Tang San becoming a god, she saw Qian Rongxiu also becoming a god. Faced with a god-level battle, in the Battle of Jialing Pass, Bibi Dong even went against the sky and killed Tang San. But, Tang San is really resurrected. Tang San is so damn unkillable. Standing behind him is the god of the sea and the god of Shura. Even if you die, you will be resurrected. So what if Bibi Dong goes against the grain? Luck was not on her side after all. There is no support from God behind her. No matter how ambitious and revengeful she was, in the end, she died under Tang San's Poseidon trident. This is the life of a child of destiny. At this moment, after watching Tang San's cheating life, everyone in the world had complicated expressions. Good guy, I can't bear to look at this cheater anymore. In the end, Tang San was resurrected, which was so humming annoying. Good guy, even though Bibi Dong is like this, he still can't kill Tang San. Alas, no matter how hard he tries, it's useless. Nonsense, I am a child of luck. No matter how much I am abused, I can still break out. Even if I die, I can still come back to life. This is a child of luck. Finally, the god of Poseidon and god of Shura are not going to be played anymore, are they? Resurrection directly? Good guy, numb. What the hell, there are Poseidon and Shura gods standing behind them, they are unscrupulous, they can do whatever they want, right? Alas, the most regrettable thing is Bibi Dong, whose qualifications are incredible, but she has become a god by herself, and Qianrongxiu has also become a god. What's the result? The two gods fell, and Bibi Dong died like this, alas. At this moment, countless people only felt their scalps numb. Behind Tang San stood the Poseidon and the Shura god. How the hell could they fight like this? I can't beat him at all. Unless there is a god standing behind Bibi Dong. But, is it possible? Obviously, there is no god behind Bibi Dong to support her. Qianrongxiu also became a god, but there was no god behind her to support her. It seemed like two gods were fighting against one god, Tang San. But in fact, it was Poseidon and Shura god who took Tang San to fight against Bibi Dong and Qianrongxiu, two newly become gods. Tisk, numb. This Tang San has so many cheats and a boss standing behind him, how can he win? At this moment, countless people felt sorry for Bibi Dong. No matter how hard you try, in the end, you will not be able to withstand the big boss's dimensionality reduction attack. So what if you become a god? Can you still beat the veteran God King? Impossible. At this time, in the Doluo Plain, the scene accompanying the Dao Golden List gradually came to an end. In the entire Doluo Plain, countless people could not come back to their senses for a long time, especially Bibi Dong. She saw the future with her own eyes, saw everything. Tang San was really unkillable. No matter how hard she works, no matter how attentive she is, even if she really kills Tang San, he will still be resurrected. This is so humming outrageous. What? You said that it was Oscar and Ning Rongrong's ability that resurrected Tang San? What a joke. Without the permission of some big bosses, could Oscar and Ning Rongrong have that kind of ability? Gaining the ability to resurrect at a critical moment, if this was not prepared for Tang San, then who was it prepared for? At this time, in the dungeon. Ha ha, ha ha ha. It's over, it's finally over. Tang San looked at the picture on the Great Dao Gold List and suddenly laughed. He smiled wildly and strangely. The Great Avenue Gold List is over, which means that he can get the reward. Ghost Doluo, Chrysanthemum Doluo. Bibi Dong. Wuhan Palace, hee, you guys, just wait for me. Tang San looked at Ghost Doluo ferociously. The cold and murderous intention was as real as it was, overwhelmingly crushing towards Ghost Doluo. Reading books on May Day will be a great pleasure. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 53. This is the end of the inventory of 9th place bloodline inheritance golden fingers. At this moment, along with the appearance of divine patterns on the Dao gold list, this means that Tang San's story is over. However, everyone has not yet recovered. Looking back on Tang San's life, the Doluo Plain is Tang San's back garden. Tang San just played whatever he wanted. Opportunities keep coming, good luck keeps coming. This is the son of luck. Even behind him were the god of Shura and the god of Poseidon. At this moment, Tang San laughed arrogantly. He has understood it, he has seen it clearly. He is immortal. Even if you die, you will be resurrected. This is his, Tang San, life of a fool. Damn it! At this time, Ghost Doluo looked at Tang San like this, and his expression became a little ferocious. He thought that in the Great Dao Golden List, his future self was killed by Tang San in a sneak attack. And this Tang San was still shameless and ran to Bibi Dong. In front of me, what are you talking about? I didn't attack her because I thought the sneak attack was very dirty. I'm holding you in my mouth, the sneak attack was dirty? Then why are you sneaking up on me? Grass. Double standard dog, then I will kill you first, Ghost Doluo shouted angrily, and a big black hand immediately grabbed Tang San. He couldn't bear it anymore. No matter what kind of existence is behind Tang San, he will make trouble for Tang San first today. There is someone behind Tang San. So what about the Shura god? Anyway, Tang San hasn't completed the Azura test yet, so what if there is a Poseidon behind Tang San? Similarly, now, Tang San hasn't completed the Poseidon's test either. It can be said that Tang San should not have this. The two gods have the right brands. If you want to kill Tang San, you have to do it now. Kill Tang San now? Before the reward has fallen. Ghost Doluo thought. However, at this time, Tang San was surprisingly calm when facing this big hand, even with a weird smile and sarcasm. Kill me? Ghost Doluo, it's too late for you to kill me now, Tang San said coldly. If Ghost Doluo had taken action earlier, he might still be a little worried and a little scared. But now, he is afraid of a hammer. Behind him, there are the two gods of Poseidon and Shura god. Even if he dies, he will be resurrected by these two god kings. This is his biggest trump card, the biggest cheat. It can be said that the entire Doluo Plain is his back garden. Not to mention, now, the Avenue Gold list, his story is over. Next, it is time to distribute the rewards. At this time, the picture on the Dao Gold list is also changing rapidly. And the content in the picture is shockingly what Tang San is now in the situation in the dungeon. Everyone watched helplessly as Ghost Doluo wanted to kill Tang San with a ferocious face. Tang San, however, was grinning ferociously, laughing wildly, without fear. Seeing that the ghost's hand was about to catch Tang San on the body, Tang San was about to be completely caught and exploded. However, at this moment, buzz. In the void, terrifying powers suddenly descended on the entire Doluo Plain. At this moment, everything came to a standstill, everything was suspended. The Dao Golden List is about to issue rewards. Ghost Doluo's execution, it's still too slow. He didn't take action earlier, he didn't take action later, but he did it at this time. Heh, isn't this fulfilling Tang San? Alas, this Tang San, now that he has received a reward from the Great Dao Gold List, will probably be even stronger than he originally was in the future. Yes, just look at Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan, with the third level of Do Qi, fought hard against the peak fighting Saint Han Tiendi, and beat Han Tiendi to the point where he had no temper. The same goes for Tang San. Tisk, this kind of cheating, and then get another heaven-defying cheat, who can compete with him in this Doluo Plain. Alas, How can such a villain and a hypocrite be rewarded? It's really puzzling. Tang San is indeed not a good bird, but he is the son of luck after all. Isn't it normal for a son of luck to receive a reward? It's a pity. I always feel that Tang San is the one who entered the Doluo plane. If it weren't for Tang San, Bibi Dong would definitely be able to unify the entire Doluo plane, and even make the Doluo plane stronger and promote the fallen plane. Bibi Dong can do it, but can't Tang San do it? Tang San? Haha, just look at Tang San's virtues and you will know. Besides Xiao Wu, who does this guy take seriously? Have you forgotten Tang San's 2 visits to Haoshan sect? The first time, during the Soul King period, he was submissive, and the second time, titled Doluo, he struck hard. Every word is right for the father, but every word is wrong for the sect. Cowhide. Anger must be repaid, this is Tang San. Double standard dog, this is Tang San. Alas, how can you say that to me? The 3 gauges were just normal revenge. They were all those evil soul masters from the Wuhan Palace. They attacked more than a dozen and even carried out sneak attacks. The 3 gauges were for the entire continent, to eliminate these evil soul masters. He is righteous. Haha, I'm laughing so hard, the evil soul master of Wuhan Palace. Without the spirit hall, where would the common people in this world have the opportunity to awaken their spirits? More than a dozen? Tisk tisk, for others to beat Tang San alone, is that despicable and does not follow martial ethics? When the Shrek 7 monsters fight 7 against 1, is it unity? Sneak attack? Tisk tisk, in front of Tang San, the ancestor of sneak attacks, do you still have the nerve to accuse others of sneak attacks? Cowhide. Indeed, he still has the nerve to accuse Bibi Dong of killing innocent people indiscriminately. In the end, he let Tugabo massacre the city. Was that okay? Compared to Tang San, Xiao Yan is simply a holy mother. Alas, anyway, Tang San got the reward, and this time, I'm afraid it will go against the will of heaven. At this time, countless people looked at the frozen picture, explained and sighed. At this moment, they saw that in the picture, lines of golden characters appeared. 9th place, Bloodline Inheritance Golden Finger. Representative figure, Poseidon Shura God Tang San. The bloodline is heaven-defying, the Blue Silver Emperor and the Clear Sky Hammer are both heaven-defying martial souls in this world. Along the way, I had great luck and made great progress. I obtained the inheritance of Shura God, the inheritance of Poseidon, the soul ring and soul bones sacrificed by Xiao Wu, the azure bull python and the titan giant ape sacrificed soul rings and soul bones. Growing up all the way, Tang San was finally promoted to the altar and became the aloof Poseidon and Shura God. Although he must retaliate for his anger, he still cares about his lover. Although he does things with double standards, he still cares about his lover. Although he is ungrateful, he still cares about his lover. Relying on his hard work and tenacity, he successfully eliminated the largest evil force in the Doluo Plain, Wuhan Palace. From now on, there is no force to help common people awaken their martial souls. Those nobles have finally ushered in the spring, and they no longer need to worry about the rise of untouchable soul masters. He destroyed the evil city of killing. From now on, evil people can no longer kill each other in it. He is truly a filial son who values love and righteousness and seizes the eyes of ice and fire for his own use. Rewards are hereby distributed. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 54. All Heavens and Worlds. At this moment, countless people looked at the description on the Deo gold list, and all of them had question marks on their faces. Then, countless people couldn't help but laugh. The description of Tang San in this great Deo golden list is simply amazing. Good guy, although he must retaliate, but he still cares about his lover? Although he does things with double standards, he still cares about his lover? Although he is ungrateful, he still cares about his lover? What a great guy, absolutely amazing. That's it? Can Tang San still get rewards? Tisk tisk, I am a child of luck, please understand. Indeed, I am a child of luck. Isn't everything I do just right? Hit the evil spirit hall? Gee, why does he define Wuhan Palace as evil? Just because Wuhan Palace hunts soul beasts? Just because Wuhan Palace destroyed the sect? It's a joke. From a power perspective, you destroy me and I destroy you. Isn't this a routine operation? As a result, when he came to Tang San, he became evil. At this moment, countless people in the world are marveling. The description at the end of this gold list is simply unbearable. How is this a compliment? This is clearly belittling Tang San. Countless people can't bear to he couldn't help laughing wantonly. At this time, in the Doluo plane, with the final golden characters appearing, even Tang San himself frowned slightly. What are those words? What do you mean? Is this a compliment to him? Or is it a disservice to him? This is not a good thing. What does it mean to retaliate? Is it true that you should not avenge yourself? Revenge for killing your mother is irreconcilable. What does it mean to have double standards in doing things? What do you mean by double standards? You are obviously righteous, so why do you have double standards? What do you mean by ungratefulness? It is so unbridled. Can you call yourself ungrateful? Tugubo and I have been friends for many years, what happened to me using his ice and fire eyes? Tang San secretly pouted. However, he didn't take it to heart. Because at this time, he was already filled with the reward that was about to fall. Ecstatic. He was really ecstatic. He knew it. He knew that at the critical moment, the Daojinbang will take action, and he will also get a reward. When the time comes, what kind of ghost Doluo? What kind of spirit hall? Die all. These evil soul masters should all be suppressed. Tang San's eyes flickered fiercely. At this moment, I saw that the paragraphs of text in the golden list of the avenue gradually turned into light. Immediately, I saw that the light gradually fell from the sky, fell towards the Wuhan Palace, and fell towards the dungeon. It fell on Tang San. Buzz. The golden light shone, illuminating the entire dark dungeon at a glance. A warm, powerful force grew in Tang San's body. An extremely strong, heaven-defying force spread within his body. Click. At this moment, he could clearly hear a cracking sound. The cracking sound was the restriction in his body. Before, Ghost Doluo blocked his soul power. Now, as the reward fell, he only felt that the forbidden soul power was directly broken away, and even increased rapidly. In just a blink of an eye, Tang San felt that his soul power had broken through the 49th level and became a 50-level existence. 50 level. Now, he only needs to get one soul ring, and he can become the real Soul King. Tang San was very happy. Strong, stronger than ever before. He only felt that he was incredibly powerful, and every move he made it was as if he had the power to destroy heaven and earth. But then, he frowned again, because the soul power in his body was stuck at level 50, and there was no way he could make any progress. It was stuck at level 50. Got it? What happened? Tang San was shocked. Why was he stuck at level 50? Didn't Xiao Yan, after receiving the reward, be able to resist the peak fighting saint? Why, he was only stuck at level 50. Did he run out of strength? No, maybe. He can clearly feel that there is still a lot of golden light in his body, and that golden light is the source of improving his strength. But unfortunately, his strength just doesn't move at all, and he can't rise to level 50. For a moment, Tang San went a little crazy. Could it be that he had wasted this improvement in strength? He was a little confused. Of course, that golden light would never be in vain. Buzz. At this moment, Tang San only felt the golden light in his body heading towards his back. The powerful golden light quickly integrated into the 8 spider spears with attached soul bones. Poof! The 8 spider spears with attached soul bones pierced his body and grew out, surrounding him like spider legs. Buzz! The 8 spider spears were devouring the golden light and evolving crazily. The 8 spider spears also began to be covered with golden light. After a while, the 8 spider spears seemed to be made of gold. They looked golden and dazzling. The 8 spider spears with attached soul bones evolve. Of course, it's not just the 8 spider spears. Buzz. At this moment, light also lit up on Tang San's hands, and the blue-silver grass also began to change in shape. It absorbed the golden light and gradually took on a noble and extraordinary aura. The blue-silver grass evolved, Blue-Silver Emperor. Yes, even without the Blue-Silver clan, Tang San relied on the reward from the Great Dao Gold List to successfully awaken the blue-silver grass into the Blue-Silver Emperor. Likewise, the hammer on Tang San's left hand also evolved with it. The small handle of the hammer was surrounded by a little arc, and it looked a bit heavy. Until the golden light came, the clear sky hammer began to greedily absorb the power, and began a new round of evolution. The clear sky hammer on the top, many lines of golden light began to appear. The Haoshan hammer was more noble, more mysterious, and more sacred. The Haoshan hammer was originally the most powerful weapon spirit in the Duluo plane. But now, accompanied by the golden light strengthening, along with the evolution of the clear sky hammer, the pressure displayed by this clear sky hammer is more tyrannical and even more heaven-defying. That sense of oppression is suffocating and terrifying. If there is an emperor in the weapon, it is not a number. Now Tang San's clear sky hammer. No, it can no longer be called the clear sky hammer, it should be called the heavenly hammer. It has evolved and become stronger. At this moment, Tang San's overall strength can be said to have improved qualitatively. A huge leap. The clear sky hammer evolved, the blue-silver grass evolved, and even the 8 spider spears with attached soul bones also evolved. At this point, the golden light reward that had fallen was almost exhausted. Such a change is simply earth-shaking. Because of the evolution of blue-silver grass, Tang San's appearance has also changed. It is very different from the changed appearance in the previous scene of the Dao Golden List. Similarly, because of the golden flower of the clear sky hammer, Tang San's appearance, and a little more resolute. It can be said that Tang San's appearance today is definitely not inferior to that of him in the Dao Golden List screen. His appearance is heaven-defying, and his 2 martial spirits are even more heaven-defying, plus the evolved golden 8 spider spear. Nowadays, Tang San's strength has definitely surpassed the Soul King and even the Soul Emperor. Even if he compares with some Soul Saints, it is not a problem at all. This trick is simply too big. It's just that. Boom! At this moment, Ghost Duluo's ghost hand instantly blasted Tang San away. Looking at Tang San's 8 golden spider spears, TND hammer, and blue-silver emperor, feeling Tang San's 50-level strength, for a moment, some couldn't help laughing and laughed. I thought how strong you could become. The result, Soul King? Ha ha ha, you can't become stronger without a soul ring, and you won't be able to enjoy the rewards. Reading books on May Day will be great. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 55. You can't become stronger without a soul ring. At this moment, countless people in the world were slightly stunned, and then suddenly laughed. Phew, ha ha ha, I was laughing so hard. I thought Tang San was really invincible. Result, ha ha ha. Cowhide, this cultivation system is truly heaven-defying, it is truly cowhide, it makes me laugh to death. The son of luck is heaven-defying. The son of luck is powerful. He travels across the Dulugo plane. His soul rings are even more heaven-defying. They are all 100,000-year-old soul rings. The dazzling scarlet color is simply oppressive. Ketchen also has a Soul Master system. The defeat of the Soul Master system makes me laugh to death. Is it okay to be stuck at level 50? From this point of view, this Soul Master system, damn it, is even more rubbish than we imagined. Ha ha ha, it is indeed garbage, it makes people want to laugh after watching it. The drawback of the Soul Master's training system is the extinction of soul beasts in the future. Now, the drawbacks of the Soul Master's training system have emerged again. Even if I give you a panacea, even if I give you a heaven-defying reward, you won't be able to accept it. Ha ha ha, doesn't this mean that even if Tang San is given a 9-turn golden pill that can directly become a Dulugo golden immortal, he will still be stuck at level 50 and unable to advance? Alas, how can you say that? When Tang San obtained the soul ring, wouldn't he still be able to become stronger? But, looking at Tang San like this, does it look like he can obtain a soul ring? Phew, I was laughing so hard. At this moment, countless people in the world were laughing crazy. At the same time, in the snow world. Haha, is it okay to be stuck at level 50? Fortunately, our world does not have such mind-numbing cerebral palsy settings. Su Fengnian couldn't help laughing, and almost went crazy with laughter. Before, he had some disdain for Tang San. Why should such a person be the son of fate? This kind of person is simply a scum, a scum. The key is, this kind of person is a scumbag. A person, not only became a child of destiny, but also received a reward? But until the moment the reward actually arrived, the moment he saw Tang San stuck at level 50, he really laughed like crazy. Well, although Tang San is stuck at level 50, his external soul bones and 2 martial spirits have also evolved. With such potential, it is possible for him to become a sea god and Shura god in the future, and even go one step further. Even the current Tang San cannot be defeated by ordinary Contras, White Fox Face reviews. Well, it's not something that ordinary Contras can take down, but titled Dulugo can take it down. No matter how strong he is, no matter how great his potential is, he is still only level 50. Old Huang showed his mouth with missing front teeth and smiled. The Soul Master system succeeds and the Soul Master system fails. Tisk tisk, let me just say it, this Soul Master system has great disadvantages, Su Fengnian said with a smile. At the same time, the mortal world. Tisk, Han Li looked at the scene where Tang San was stuck at level 50 and was blown away by Ghost Dulugo's punch, and smiled. This Soul Master system is really not good. Even if I give you a reward, you won't be able to use it. A heaven-defying opportunity is right in front of us, but unfortunately, the cultivation system is stuck. Can it still be done? Fortunately, I am not practicing this system. For a moment, Han Li felt happy again. The world that covers the sky, the edge of the ancient forbidden land. Yafan and his classmates looked at the golden list of avenues in the sky, and for a moment they couldn't help laughing. Is it okay to be stuck at level 50? This training system is really useless. Yafan was a little speechless. Even if there was a reward, he wouldn't be able to enjoy it. Hey, this kid is probably going to die next. After exposing what he did in the future, it would be strange for Bibi Dong not to peel off his skin. Pang Bo also grinned. I hope that in this world, the existence of those immortals and sages will not practice this kind of waste system. Yafan shook his head and sighed. For a moment, he seemed a little worried. They came from the earth called Julong La Coffin. This strange star field made them a little dazed. Until they saw the ancient forbidden land and even the fairy mountain in the pavilion, they saw the huge golden-winged rock eagle. At the same time, because of the golden list of avenues in the sky, they couldn't help but have wild imaginations. This world must be different from Xiaoyan's Doqi continent and Tangsan's Duluo plain. Likewise, there must be a cultivation system and monks. But they just don't know what the monks in this world are like. They were speculating anxiously in their hearts, and at the same time, they were also praying. Pray that they would never be in contact with Tangsan's soul. The teacher system is the same. Otherwise, it would be too screwed up. That kind of rubbish cultivation system is really a stretch. At this time, countless people in the world are paying attention to the Dao Golden List. They want to see how Tangsan died. At this time, you can see it in the picture. Along with Tangsan was blasted away. Tangsan finally came to his senses from his confusion. He looked at the evolved blue-silver emperor grass, looked at the evolved TND hammer, looked at the last evolved 8 golden spider spears, and felt his level 50 soul power. For a moment, he felt sad in his heart. No. Tang San looked up to the sky and roared, his eyes red. Why is this happening? Why? If Xiaoyan can have Emperor Flame, why can't I use the power of Poseidon? Why didn't I get the trident of Poseidon? The TND hammer has unlimited potential and is more powerful than the clear sky hammer. The same is true for the blue-silver emperor. The top plant-type martial spirit is an existence that everyone in the Duluo plane needs to look up to. Coupled with Tangsan's reverse the 8 golden spider spears with soul bones from beyond the sky. Any one of them can bring someone to the top. But now, Tangsan got 3 of them at once. Such a heaven-defying cheat, but he didn't have time to grow up at all. He is now facing his enemy is titled Duluo. Haha, Tangsan, now is the time to end things. Ghost Duluo smiled ferociously, surrounded by ghost mist and gloomy air. The next second. Buzz. The soul ring exploded. The 9th soul skill, Hell Sprite, Ghost Duluo shouted loudly. The next second, he saw many huge black shadow hands quickly appearing under Tangsan's feet. The arms extended and quickly grabbed Tangsan. As soon as he came up, he directly used the 9th soul skill. Tangsan's expression changed. Clang, clang, clang. At this moment, his external soul bone exploded, and the 8 golden spider spears fought against those ghost hands. But not long after, Tangsan felt a little weak. He was no match for Ghost Duluo. Run. You must run. Now, his only chance to survive is to run. Only by running to the outside world, to the Star Do Forest, can he have a chance to survive. He first becomes the Soul King, then the Soul Emperor, and then the Soul, Holy, become a Soul Duluo again. He only needs to become a Soul Duluo and obtain 4 more soul rings. He can avenge Ghost Duluo and the entire Wuhan Palace. Boom. At this moment, the 8 golden spider spears smashed the ceiling. At this moment, Tangsan could even see the sunshine outside and smell the free air. Freedom. This is freedom. Whoosh. At this moment, Tangsan escaped directly from the dungeon. Although he couldn't defeat Ghost Duluo, escaping was still not a problem. Finally, he jumped out of the pit and felt the long-lost sunshine. Fall on body. Call. Tangsan took a deep breath, and a deep smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. But then, Tangsan felt something was wrong. He seemed to be locked by some kind of powerful energy. He suddenly opened his eyes and looked around. Immediately, his pupils shrank. The person directly in front of him was Pope Bibi Dong. Behind him, there were Hulina, Yan, Xiaoyu. There were also Jian Daoliu, Golden Crocodile Duluo, Qingluan Duluo, Lion Duluo, Light Feather Duluo, Qinjun Duluo, Demon Subduing Duluo, Chrysanthemum Duluo, Snake Spear Duluo, Porcupine Duluo, Demon Bear Duluo, Ghost Leopard Duluo, Holy Dragon Duluo. In Wuhan Palace, all the titled Duluo came out. All the titled Duluo surrounded Tangsan. Define us as evil and you as righteous? What a good Tang San, it's time to settle this account today. Bibi Dong's cold eyes looked directly at Tang San. At this moment, Tang San's face became extremely ugly. The most important thing is that this is not over yet. Whoosh, at this moment, a tyrannical, unparalleled, and extremely oppressive killing aura suddenly descended. In the sky, a man wearing a blood-colored robe, with a pale face, scarlet hair and eyes, and a bunch of bat wings slowly came. Arrive. This man is none other than the King of Slaughter. Destroy the city of killing, Tang San, now is the time to settle the score between us. Reading books on May Day will be great. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 56. Numb. At this moment, Tang San was really numb. He never imagined that just after leaving the wolf's den, he would end up in the tiger's den again. 15 titled Duluo. Kyandeolio is a level 99 existence. The King of Slaughter is also a level 99 existence. In addition, Bibi Dong is also a level 99 existence. Guru, at this moment, Tang San swallowed. Just an ordinary titled Duluo is enough for him to drink a pot. Now, all the top 99 level titled Duluo in the mainland have appeared. Just because of him, how can I attract so many titled Duluo to kill me? In this situation, let alone Tang Hao, he couldn't be saved. Even if a god came, he couldn't be saved. At this moment, countless people in all the worlds are laughing like crazy. Phew, ha ha ha, tell Tang San to show off. It's fun to pretend to be cool for a while, the whole family crematorium. Gee, how arrogant was that before? How domineering. The sixth soul ring is 100,000 years, the seventh soul ring is also 100,000 years, the eighth soul ring is also 100,000 years, and the ninth soul ring is also 100,000 years. As soon as the soul ring came out, countless people were shocked, but what about now? Gee, how pretentious and arrogant he was on the Deo Deo gold list, but how embarrassed he is now. Gee, I can't bear to see the ending. Haha, there are 15 titled Duluo, including 3 top 99 level titled Duluo. I want to know now, how did Tang San die? By the way, isn't there a god standing behind Tang San? Why, this Poseidon god Shura god doesn't come out to help. It's so funny, if Poseidon and Shura god really jump out, then they really don't even want to lose face. You know, this is a live broadcast facing all the heavens and worlds. Hee, I just don't know if any fellow Taoist has located the spatial coordinates of this Duluo plane. I just want to play in this Duluo plane. Haha, looking for spatial coordinates? How difficult is this? Who doesn't hide well? Unless this is a world adjacent to the Duluo plane, it is possible to cross space and land on the Duluo plane. And, to be honest, there are no good treasures in this Duluo plane, they are all rubbish among rubbish. As far as the level of combat power in that world is concerned, it is not as strong as one of our chi refining stage disciples. It's too much, ha ha ha, this is too much, during the chi refining period. Isn't this too humiliating? In fact, it is true. The lifespan of a titled Duluo is only 200 years, and a titled Duluo is only equivalent to the 9th level of Xiantian Gong. In a world of low martial arts, no matter how strong the inner strength and mental skills are, how can one still cultivate immortality? Strong skills. In this soul master training system, there is at least one soul skill that is relatively tricky, but it stops there. The disciples of our sect who are in the chi refining stage can still compete with titled Dulugo if they learn more exercises and 2 more magical powers. Tisk tisk, titled Dulugo. I heard that titled Dulugo can dominate the world and dominate the world. Well, I don't know if our world's blood-moving realm can surpass titled Dulugo. May I ask you, what is the realm of moving blood? What other manifestations of strength are there? Move the blood realm. A monk who cultivates the first level of cultivation, mobilizes essence and blood, smelts bone inscriptions, extracts divine light, seizes the creation of heaven and earth, nourishes the body, and can achieve the ultimate level of 100,000 kilograms. 100,000 kilograms of extreme realm. Move the blood realm. The first level of a monk? Fellow Taoist, are you sure you are not talking about the peak state, but the first level of spiritual practice? Laughing to death, let alone moving to the blood realm. I see that titled Dulugo cannot even defeat an ordinary person when he enters the world of fellow Taoist. At this moment, all the worlds are mocking. There are countless more messages on the Great Dao Golden List. With the emergence of the Great Dao Golden List, and with countless great experts exploring the Great Dao Golden List, countless people have also discovered that this on the Golden List of the Great Dao, you can even view messages from other great powers in the world. This is simply like establishing a platform where all the worlds can communicate. It is called a mutual exchange of needs. It is simply a mockery of the Dulugo position in the group. Face. Really, the Dulugo plane is so rubbish. Everyone who is rubbish can't stand it. The strength is really low. It's unimaginably low. He's a titled Dulugo, and he can't live more than a day or 2. 100 years? That strength is incomparable to other worlds. It is like a floor tile. Even the Dochi world is stronger than them. Their Dozun and Dosheng still master the rules and can transcend space. Look again, look at this titled Dulugo. Damn it! He still relies on soul rings, soul skills, and soul bones. What is this if it's not garbage? At this time, everyone was looking at the picture on the Dao Golden List, watching Tang San being beaten by so many titled Dulugo surrounded him, watching Tang San being approached by the King of Slaughter. Everyone felt astonished. They had even thought of Tang San's fate. Well, it must be miserable. Tang San's attached soul bone would definitely be destroyed. Peel off. Tang San's cultivation will definitely be abolished and directly explode. As for Tang San's inheritance, the 2 martial arts spirits of Tiandi Hammer and Blue Silver Emperor. From Bibi Dong's perspective, he will definitely find someone to continue it. Tang San's bloodline. By then, maybe, under Bibi Dong's training, a new family will appear. Of course, this is a story for later. No one knows exactly who Tang San is, because, at this time, the picture in the Dao Golden List slowly disappeared. Although countless people in the world were still looking at it with some unfinished thoughts. But even with their toes, they could think of Tang San's final outcome. With Tang San's current strength, a titled Dulugo came, and he couldn't bear it, let alone 399 level peak Dulugo. Even if there was Tang Hao behind Tang San. But how could one Tang Hao deal with 15 titled Dulugo? Even if the Killing King is actually Tang Chen, Tang Hao's grandfather, and Tang San's great-grandfather, even if Tang Chen wakes up at the critical moment and helps Tang San, it will be of no use. Tang Chen and Qian Daoliu are old enemies. A Qian Daoliu can contain Tang Chen. As for Tang Hao, sending 10 titled Dulugo to contain him is not a big problem, right? And Bibi Dong, wouldn't it be easy to defeat Tang San? At this moment, countless people shook their heads. Of course, there are also many monks who feel sorry for not being able to go to Dulugo world. However, this is not something Yeqing should think about. With the end of this inventory, Yeqing's mind also followed a system prompt sounded. Yeqing's face was slightly happy, he looked at his junior brothers and sisters who were still in a daze, smiled slightly, turned around and went back to the room. Immediately, he heard waves of excited discussions coming from outside the door. It's nothing more than discussing Tang San, soul bones, and martial arts spirits. System, extracted. Yeching held his breath and concentrated, throwing away distracting thoughts. He wanted to see what he could extract from Tang San this time. As usual, he could extract from Tang San and Tang San's golden fingers. Two treasures came out. Before, he extracted the Fenju from Xiao Yan, and extracted the bone spirit cold fire from Yao Lao. This gave him a qualitative leap in strength. But now, Tang San himself, and Tang San's golden finger, couldn't possibly use the Xiantian technique? Or some hidden weapon, right? Yeching pondered for a long time. At the same time, he saw two phantoms appearing in front of him. One phantom, the shadow, is Tang San. The other shadow is a little hazy and abstract. Tang San's golden finger is not as simple as Yao Lao's. His golden finger is very abstract. It is bloodline and inheritance. Bloodline is Blue-Silver Emperor, Haoshan sect. The inheritance is the inheritance of Tang sect. Based on these 2 points, Tang San went against the sky. With a little bit of luck, he finally conquered the entire continent. But Yeching frowned, and suddenly asked System, I don't want to extract the things from Tang San, can I replace them with something else? Yes, Yeching doesn't want to extract anything from Tang San. If he extracts a martial spirit, he's not in the Duluo plane, and there's no way for this martial spirit to have a soul ring attached to it. He doesn't want to end up as a useless soul. Master's way. Therefore, this martial spirit seems to be very useless. Whether it is the clear sky hammer or the blue-silver emperor, they are useless. As for the skills, to be honest, Yeching only felt that the purple demon eye was somewhat useful, and the rest were all rubbish. The soul bones were good, but soul bones also had limitations. So, he wanted to ask the system if there were any other rewards. At this moment, a system prompt sounded in Yeching's mind. Ding, depending on the completion of the host inventory, you can draw 2 rewards from the Sun of Luck, or you can randomly draw the same reward from the entire world. Oh! Yeching's eyes lit up. He didn't expect that the system really has this function. He quickly learned more about it, and soon he understood. Generally speaking, the things extracted from the Sun of Destiny were relatively important to him. For example, Xiao Yan's Fenju and Yao Lao's Bone Spirit Cold Fire. And when randomly selected from the entire world, the range of this extraction has a threshold. Basically, the extracted things are relatively good, and there will not be a handful of loess or a blade of grass. That's the case. Do you still need to think about it? Randomly select a treasure from the Duluo plane, Yeching said bluntly. Buzz. The next second, you can see that Tang San's phantom and the abstract phantom disappeared, replaced by a vast continent. And from the continent, a ball of light was extracted. That light spot was hazy and fell into Yeching's hands in an instant. Yeching looked at this ball of light and pondered slightly. This ball of light could be anything. Martial spirits, soul bones, or even some kind of immortal product. The best herbs are possible. Finally, when the light group dispersed, a sword fell into Yeching's hands. It was a sword that seemed to be only the size of a palm. The runes on the sword were complex, and the whole body was blue, like it was carved from crystal and was extremely sharp. But, this thing, the 7-killing sword? Yeching's eyelids twitched. The last thing he wanted was a martial spirit. As a result, he randomly drew a martial spirit, and what the hell did he draw out? 7-killing sword. Sword Duluo's martial spirit is the only top weapon martial spirit in the mainland that can be compared with the clear sky hammer. But, he doesn't want a martial spirit. Ding, host, please rest assured, even if the host obtains a martial spirit, it will not affect the host's normal practice. Moreover, this martial spirit will be converted into a natal magic weapon, which will improve as the host improves. Oh, Yeching's eyes lit up. That's such a good feeling. He happens to be a disciple of Tianjian section. Although Tianjian sect only has half a sword scripture, which is very rubbish. But as a disciple of sword sect, playing with swords is what he should do. Then it is reasonable for him to have a sword spirit, right? Fusion. Yeching didn't say anything, and directly let the sword spirit merge with himself. The next second, Yeching watched the small sword made of crystal merge into his body. Then, he felt warm inside his body. The internal energy of Fenjia transformed in the body began to gather in the right hand. Finally, buzz. The 7-kill sword just appeared in the hand. And this time the 7-kill sword is a little different from the previous 7-kill sword. The 7-kill sword is about 4 feet 3 inches long, 3 inches wide, and has a handle 1 foot long. A shakuji, with a blue body and an awe-inspiring murderous aura. This is the 7-kill sword. Although it does not have a soul ring, it cannot compare to Sword Tuluo's 7-kill sword. Buzz. Yeching thought, and in the next second, Fenjia's internal energy attached to the 7-kill sword, and a sharp and scorching breath burst out. The heat wave swept through, as if he was holding a flaming holy sword. With a slight shake, the sword energy vibrated. As soon as he thought, flames swept through him. Strong. Very damn strong. Yeching felt that if he used this 7-killing sword, combined with his internal power of burning Ju, and used half of the sword scripture in the sect, with the weak defeating the strong, it is not a problem to kill the monks in the chi refining stage. This 7-killing sword is completely equivalent to the level of a magic weapon. The key is that his magic weapon can also become stronger as he gets stronger. In the end, it is even possible become a spiritual weapon, an immortal weapon. Phew, think too much, Yeching let out a long breath and immediately withdrew the 7-kill sword. He tilted his head slightly and looked out the door. At this time, the junior brothers and sisters were still discussing. In response, he shook his head and ignored it. All afternoon, he was immersed in cultivation, and even at night, he was immersed in cultivation. Fortunately, all the junior brothers and sisters were sleeping, and no one disturbed him. Until early the next morning. Yeching woke up, and a bright light flashed in his eyes. He practiced last night. Although it's not the chi refining period yet, it's almost there. The sect lacks resources, lacks skills, and lacks a blessed place for cultivation. If you want to practice and become stronger, you have to rely on cheats. And this time for the inventory. Yeching had a thought in his mind and subconsciously looked towards the sky. At this time, the Great Dao Golden List has reappeared. As the Dao Golden List appeared, rows of divine patterns also appeared on it. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers in the world. 8th place, treasure category. Description, a very simple golden finger. The son of luck accidentally picked up a treasure, and this treasure has a unique effect, which fully allows the son of luck to embark on a counterattack. Features, this type of cheat is mainly auxiliary, allowing the protagonist to get something that others don't have. Or rely on this treasure to kill all the way through the level. In all the worlds, there are many children of destiny who have such golden fingers. Hosts with such golden fingers generally have the following characteristics. 1. Rapid progress in a short period of time. There are special treasures, but they are very inconspicuous. 2. Rare medicines in the outside world are like cabbage in his hands. 3. In an enemy situation, other people's treasures are always at a disadvantage. 4. His qualifications are very poor, but he can achieve miracles repeatedly. 5. His qualifications were extremely poor at first, but suddenly his qualifications turned out to be incredible. Conclusion, generally speaking, if you have any 3 of the above characteristics, you can basically conclude that you have such a golden finger, and you are undoubtedly the child of luck in this world. 8. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 57. New inventory. New golden finger. At this moment, countless people in all the worlds looked at the Dao golden list, and they all became energetic. While they want to know if they are a child of some kind of luck, they also want to know who will be on the list next time. Of course, it would be better if you were on the list yourself. Who doesn't want to be a child of luck? And as a child of luck, who wouldn't want to be on the list? Being on the list means getting a reward, and getting a reward means you can dominate the world. Well, Tang San's case is an exception. That's the limitation of the Soul Masters training system. What does it have to do with them? The Soul Masters training system is rubbish, but their training system is not rubbish. Soul Masters must need soul rings to upgrade. They only need to spend a lot of krypton pills and meditate to improve their cultivation. This is fundamentally different from the Soul Master system. Everyone hopes that they will become the son of luck and be on the list. By then, they will be famous in all the worlds. Except for that good-for-nothing Tang San. At this moment, along with the golden characters on the Dao golden list appearing, countless people in the world are also examining themselves to see if they are the son of fate, the golden finger of treasure. Not to mention, this golden finger covers a really wide range. Who doesn't have a hidden treasure at the bottom of the box? Even the Dao gold list said that this kind of gold finger is very common. With this kind of treasure, you can kill all the way through the level, which is simply unbelievable. It has unique effects and powerful power. It has improved by leaps and bounds in a short period of time. Very poor qualifications, but can create miracles. His qualifications were originally very poor, but he became extremely unnatural. Also, the precious medicine was as big as cabbage. This kind of golden finger. At the same time, they began to think, have they ever seen such a person? Obviously, in all the worlds, there are always a few who defy heaven, and there are always a few weird ones, who are clearly poor in qualifications, but they can cultivate to a certain level. What is the cultivation speed of a genius, and what is the cultivation speed of a loser like him? This is the weirdest thing. They don't believe in the 14 types of people who don't have golden fingers or are not children of luck. If I remember correctly, that boy from the King Yun sect, holding a treasure in hand and relying on extremely rubbish qualifications, has won the first place in various competitions, and his training speed has been even faster? Is this the child of luck? I have also met a little guy whose qualifications are mediocre. I don't even know how he cultivated to the golden elixir realm. The key is that this kid has countless elixirs in his hands, like cabbage, which are rare in the world. Rare treasures are just at his fingertips. This kid must be the son of luck, right? Haha, who do you think you are? I personally tested the aptitude of a little guy, and it was extremely poor. He had no chance to embark on the path of spiritual practice, and could only be an ordinary person for the rest of his life. However, he just embarked on the path of spiritual practice. The key is, I came here for a test a year later and found that my qualifications had changed strangely, which was simply unheard of. When you said that, I suddenly remembered that I met a little guy holding countless spiritual treasures and elixirs. I saw the money and was about to loot everything. What else did the kid say? 30 years of Hedong, 3 years of 10 years in Hexi, don't bully young people into poverty. I didn't take it to heart at first, but now, that boy, isn't he the son of luck? Tisk tisk, old ghost, you're done. Just wait to be liquidated by the son of destiny. You're laughing so hard, how dare you provoke the son of fate? Then just wait until the entire sect is wiped out. At this moment, all the worlds are discussing. But at this time, Zuxian world. Treasure type, Zhang Xiaofen's eyes flashed with blood, and he subconsciously looked at the fire stick in his hand. Now he has changed his name to Gui Li and became the deputy sect leader of the Ghost King sect. Because of the soul eating, his personality has changed drastically. He has to be bloodthirsty and indifferent. To be honest, he does have a treasure like golden finger. If it weren't for this soul eater, he wouldn't be able to rise. Is this a golden finger? And I shouldn't be considered a child of luck. Which child of destiny have you seen become possessed by a demon? Which child of destiny have you seen who is bloodthirsty? Speaking of children of destiny, he actually feels that his friend Lin Jingyu is simply the template for the protagonist, talented and intelligent, with unparalleled qualifications. More in line with the rebelliousness of a child of destiny. He even obtained the divine weapon dragon-slaying sword and was vigorously trained by the section. It can be said that Lin Jingyu is simply a young talent, definitely a genius-level figure. Such boy, who is the son of luck if not the son of luck? As for the characteristics of this type of golden-fingered son of luck, although it is somewhat inconsistent with Lin Jingyu, even if Lin Jingyu is not the golden-fingered son of luck this time, is also the next golden-fingered son of luck. As for himself, with him like this, isn't he just a villain who rises from a small position? Ha, King Yunman, Zhang Xiaofen's eyes flashed with rage again. At the same time, the mortal world. Well, Han Li looked at the golden characters on the Daojin list, and for a moment, he felt something bad in his heart. Doesn't this description refer to yourself? He relied on his pseudo-spiritual roots to forcefully embark on the path of cultivation. The precious medicine that is rare in the outside world, placed here, is just the first drop of the original solution in the small green bottle. Although he doesn't have any heaven-defying treasures, he can perform miracles repeatedly despite his extremely poor qualifications. He has made rapid progress in a short period of time. From a mortal to a foundation builder, how long did it take? Even if you return to the chi refining stage from the time of foundation building and start practicing again, it doesn't take long. All this is thanks to the little green bottle. Because of the little green bottle, he went against the will of heaven and became a monk from a mortal. No matter how poor your qualifications are, you can still embark on the path of spiritual practice if you have a little green bottle. This special code doesn't refer to you, right? For a moment, Han Li felt a little uneasy. People are afraid of being famous and pigs are afraid of being strong. If his fame spreads, countless people would probably find trouble for him. Fortunately, he had the foresight to hide in advance. Even if this is really him, he is not afraid of others finding him. Moreover, he has left Tianese. He could no longer meet his former enemies. The old demon Yunlu and Wang Quan are all just passing by. Moreover, with his character, even if he is in the Chaos Star Sea next time, he will not provoke any enemies. If it is really him, then he can rest easy, just wait until the rewards fall. Well, that's what he thinks. And, even if he can't make the list, it doesn't matter. Even if he doesn't have the reward of the Great Dao Gold list, he can still rise. At the same time, the immortals reverse the world. Treasure gold finger, Wang Lin's pupils shrank. He immediately thought of the stone beads. There is no doubt that the stone bead is definitely a treasure. Looking at the divine patterns on the Dao Gold list, looking at the characteristics of the protagonist, his face became uncertain. He has treasures but is inconspicuous. It has made rapid progress in a short period of time. Although he doesn't have many rare and precious medicines, with his extremely poor qualifications, he can create miracles and embark on the path of spiritual practice, all because of the stone beads. He looked left and right, and he always felt that it was him who was mentioned on the Dao Gold list. If it weren't for the stone bead, he might have died on that cliff. If it weren't for the stone bead, he wouldn't be able to practice even if he entered the Henjiao section. In short, everything was because of the stone bead. He still doesn't know what the stone beads are, but he knows very well that the stone beads are definitely a treasure. The so-called ordinary man is not guilty of possessing the stone. As he is now, if he owns that stone bead, it will definitely be coveted by countless people once it is exposed. What if you are on the list? Award. Can I really hold on until the rewards on the Great Avenue Gold list are lowered? His face was uncertain, and for a moment, he felt a little flustered. Tang San's experience was still vivid in his mind. He was also a child of luck, but in the end, Tang San was. Wang Lin shook his head secretly. But soon, he changed his mind and thought that it would be good for him to be on the list. The way of cultivation in their world is different from that of the Soul Master system. Once he gets a reward, he will definitely soar into the sky just like Xiao Yan. By then, what else is there to be afraid of? Wang Lin also has a general understanding of the levels of immortal cultivation in this world. They are roughly divided into Qi condensation, foundation building, elixir formation, nascent soul, and spirit transformation. He doesn't expect to become a great monk of the transformation stage. When the time comes, if he really gets on the list, he will just become a great monk of the nascent soul stage. When the time comes, it won't be a problem to step on the Henjiao sect and conquer the entire continent. Well, it doesn't matter even if he doesn't make the list. Anyway, he already knows that the bead must be a treasure. When the time comes, he will make a fortune silently and practice hard without saying a word. He still doesn't believe it. He has no future? At this moment, all the people in the world who have this kind of treasure that they don't know how to follow and are very defiant have their minds wandering. With the experience of the first 2 times, now, anyone who thinks that he is lucky his son's things are all hidden, well hidden, and must not be discovered by others. For the first time, Xiao Yan didn't know that when he wanted to run away, Han Tiandi came to his door. But when the Dao Gold list rewards fell, Xiao Yan and Yao Zun directly counterattacked to kill Han Tiandi. The second time, Tang San knew about it, but he couldn't run away. They caught Tang San from the beginning. The most important thing is that Tang San is damn useless even after receiving a reward. What about the evolution of martial souls? What about the evolution of externally attached soul bones? After all, the strength is not as good as those guys. This in itself is a shortcoming of the Soul Master's training system. This cannot be blamed on others. This third time, countless children of destiny absorbed the experience of the first 2 times, 1 or 2, and hid them before the list was announced. Regardless of whether you are on the list or not, your own safety is the most important thing. As for rewards, when the rewards really come down, they will dominate the world and dominate the world. This will not be a problem. At this time, all the worlds are paying attention to the Great Dao Golden List. At this time, it can be seen that in the Great Dao Golden List, the divine patterns gradually appear, and soon, new words emerge. Countless people are nervously looking forward to it, looking forward to the announcement of the final characters, looking forward to the appearance of the final list of characters. Immediately, I saw that a line of golden characters changed to a slow coagulation type. One of the most representative figures of this kind of golden finger, Han Li in the mortal world. Han Li in the mortal world. At this moment, the hearts of countless people in the universe are floating. Mortal world? What kind of world is this? Han Li? Who is this Han Li? Pandeo does know a man named Han Li, but he just doesn't know if this Han Li is the same Han Li. There are many people with the same name and surname in all the worlds. Only when a world is determined can one be identified. Which world is this mortal world? Mortal world? Wouldn't this world be like the Duluo plane? The strength will not be as low as dust? For the floor tiles. By the way, what does one of the most representative figures mean by 030? Is it possible that there will be several similar golden fingers and children of luck in this issue of the list? Didn't I mention it before on the golden list of great Dao? This kind of golden finger is very common in all the worlds. It is normal to be one of them now. Maybe there will be 2, 3, or 4 in the future. This is not what I want to see. I want to know now, which world is this mortal world? What world is it? Hanli? West Desert Yudeogu Immortal? Could it be that this Hanli is that Hanli? Don't mention it, this Hanli really looks like him. He was just a mortal once, but because of his many adventures, he became stronger and stronger. Could it be that this Hanli is the son of fate? I also know Hanli, who is quite unbelievable anyway. From the time when he was a mortal, his growth step by step is incredible. I also know a Han-Li. This Han-Li was once just an inconspicuous little handyman from the outer section. After being beaten to death, he somehow managed to survive without even swallowing a breath. As a result, he soared into the sky. Damn it, be careful, this is the protagonist template. So many Han-Li? So who is Han-Li in this mortal world? I don't know. Who knows which world this mortal world is? At this moment, countless people in the world are shocked and confused. The name of this mortal world is really unrecognizable. Before, the Dochi world and the Dolugo plane were quite recognizable. When it comes to fighting Qi, Xiaoyan immediately thought of himself. After all, their world itself is about cultivating fighting Qi. And Dolugo is even more so. Dolugo, Soul Dolugo, titled Dolugo, etc., isn't this the world of Tangsan? Characteristics of it? But now, the 3 words mortal world are somewhat difficult to identify. No one knows whether this mortal world is referring to our own world. But if this mortal world is replaced by some other continent, then it's easy to say that the recognition level is directly maxed out, but now. At this time, in the mortal world. Hanli? My name? Still, Hanli frowned and looked at the divine patterns on the Dao gold list. For a moment, he became a little surprised. His name was Hanli. But Jean was not sure if the world he was in was a mortal world. He was not sure if it was him, so. Buzz, he waved his hand and strengthened the formation again, and immediately smiled with satisfaction. This time, no matter if it was him or not, he was weak. However, at this moment, at this time, he heard, from the golden list of the avenue, a powerful voice came. Kixuanman recruits disciples. Anyone who can climb to the top of the mountain can become a disciple of my Kixuanman. Kixuanman. Recruiting disciples. Hanli's pupils shrank. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 58. This is me. Hanli looked at the Dao Golden List in surprise, looking at the pictures that appeared in the Dao Golden List, and looking at the slightly familiar look, he was a little dazed and a little stunned. Kixuanman. He will never forget it in his life. If it weren't for Kixuanman, Suanman, he is still an ordinary mortal now, getting old. Although Kixuanman is just a martial arts sect, it was only because of Kixuanman that he came into contact with the cultivation techniques and entered the path of cultivation. With today's achievements. Call. Hanli let out a long breath. I was on the list. Fortunately, I hid it myself. Moreover, no one knows him in this chaotic sea of stars. In other words, now, he is safe, safer than ever. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, and he strengthened the restriction one more layer. Then he looked at the Dao Golden List with interest. This happened many years ago. Looking at the young self in the picture, and Zhang Tai, and that Li Feiyu. Those days are really unforgettable. At this time, countless people in the world were also paying attention to the Dao Golden List. Soon, everyone knew what this Kixuan sect was. Kixuanman's name sounds domineering, but in reality, it's just that. Kixuanman recruits disciples, and Hanli is among them. Originally, Han Li and his friend Zhang Tai were unable to enter the Kixuan sect. But Drmo Juran really needed two handy men, so he accepted Han Li and Zhang Tai as his disciples, and then reluctantly entered the Kixuan section. At this time, countless people in the world saw this, all a little speechless. It's boring, it's really boring. The mortal world? Jianghu sect, alas. Is it another lower world? I always feel that this Grand Avenue Gold list is a waste of my time. In the mortal world, are we really just mortals? Oh, if I had known earlier, I shouldn't have had any expectations. Countless people sighed, feeling quite bored. Is this mortal really immortal? But then, the scene changed again. Mo Juran accepted Han Li and Zhang Tai as disciples, and taught Han Li and Zhang Tai Chang Chun Gong is said to be used to strengthen the body. Han Li, on the other hand, is still somewhat talented in refining medicine and knows herbal medicine and other knowledge by heart. Similarly, Dr. Mo also fulfilled his duties as a master, not only taught Han Li and Zhang Tai how to read and write, and also helped them refine medicine to improve their cultivation. It can be said that the scene was a harmonious one. And Han Li, who was successful in practicing Chang Chun Gong, finally reached the third level with the help of the elixir. First floor. That was a surprise to Drmo. As for Zhang Tai, obviously, Zhang Tai had no talent in this area, so he let Zhang Tai practice other skills. In short, during this period, Han Li and Zhang Tai, under the guidance of Dr. Mo, made great progress, and he was indeed a good teacher. But soon, Kixuanmen fell into trouble again. The Wild Wolf Gang attacked. Obviously, Han Li and Zhang Tai was no match for these guys from the Wild Wolf Gang. Fortunately, in the end, Li Feiyu showed up and saved Han Li and Zhang Tai. This Li Feiyu was pretty good, almost beating several of them, and he directly defeated these guys. It's just that, Han Li soon discovered that the marrow extracting pills used by Li Feiyu, despite their current glory, would only lead to death in a short time. Naturally, Han Li would not ignore death, he would naturally make elixirs to help Li Feiyu relieve his pain. As time goes by, Zhang Tai is doing well in practicing that skill. When he practices external skills, he only needs to exercise his body to improve his strength. His progress is amazing. But Han Li is practicing internal skills. There is no progress. Slow. Time flies, and 3 years have passed. Han Li has not made much progress in boxing, but with Zhang Tai at his side, Han Li will not be bullied. And Li Feiyu. In 3 years, Han Li, Li Feiyu, Zhang Tai and Zhang Tai interacted with each other and established a deep friendship. Although Han Li did not improve in terms of fists and feet, his medical skills were very good. However, on this day, while Han Li was practicing, he was suddenly discovered by someone outside. The strong wind blew the doors and windows and woke him up. Just as he was about to close the windows, he saw a bright green light flashing in the forest. Han Li was puzzled and quickly went to check, and then he found it in a tree hole. A small green bottle that glowed green. The small green bottle was as big as a palm and glowed very strangely. Han Li was a little surprised and wanted to take a closer look. At this time, it started to rain again, so he hurried back to the room, wanting to share the treasure he found with Zhang Tai. However, as soon as he opened the door, there was no sign of Zhang Tai. Zhang Tai Han Li was a little confused and called Zhang Tai's name. But Zhang Tai, how could he respond? Who knows where this piece of iron went? Finally, he found a bead in the bamboo forest. He even saw a bloody handprint on the bamboo. Zhang Tai was killed. Such a thought appeared in his mind, and his pupils shrank suddenly when he looked at the bloody handprints. Although he didn't see it with his own eyes, did he still need to explain the situation at the scene? He returned to his residence in a daze. Dr. Mo didn't come back. He couldn't find Zhang Tai alone, so he could only stay here, waiting for Dr. Mo to come back. Time passed, and another 3 months passed. Han Li had been worried about Zhang Tai until the day when Dr. Mo came back. Han Li hurriedly went to ask. Zhang Tita, Han Li hasn't finished asking yet. Unexpectedly, Dr. Mo sighed and said, I know, Zhang Tai left and he went home. I often heard that he was homesick before becoming a teacher, but as expected, he still went back. This. Han Li hesitated. In the past few years, he naturally knew clearly what kind of character Zhang Tai was. Does Zhang Tai miss home? That's not even a good idea. Now Dr. Mo actually said this. This would inevitably make Han Li suspicious. However, for a moment, he didn't know what to say. It seems that we are the only 2 masters and apprentices left now. Oh, by the way, there is also him. Dr. Mo said, pointing to the door. At this time, a man wearing a black robe and a hat, with his face covered, appeared. Dr. Mo said his name is Tai Slave. I asked him to protect us. Iron Slave, Han Li hesitated. Come here and let me see if you have made any progress, Dr. Mo spoke. Han Li could only follow the words and step forward. Taking advantage of Dr. Mo's inspection, Han Li turned his eyes and saw the rosary in Dr. Mo's hand. There was a missing rosary at the top. This bead. Han Li's pupils shrank suddenly. He instantly thought of the beads he picked up the night Zhang Tai disappeared. They were exactly the same as the string of beads in Dr. Mo's hand, but one of the beads in Dr. Mo's string was missing. In other words, there are 9 possibilities that the disappearance of this piece of iron is because of Dr. Mo. Well, I'm sorry, Master, I didn't make any progress during your absence. At this time, Han Li sighed and hurriedly hid the bead. Because of Han Li's skill problem, Mo Juren naturally didn't notice. He just had a cold look in his eyes. Han Li's cultivation speed did make him a little disappointed, but that's all. Dr. Mo sighed, and then asked Han Li, how old do you think I am this year? How old? Han Li looked at Mo Juren's old face and graying hair, shook his head, and subconsciously guessed more than 70. He. Mo Juren sneered and said quietly, I am 37 this year. 37 years old. Han Li's pupils shrank. 37 years old, so old? Why? Han Li was puzzled, and soon he heard Mo Juren's explanation. He used to be a powerful martial arts master. Unexpectedly, he was plotted by others and was poisoned. Fortunately, his medical skills saved his life, but he still ended up like this. Unless someone can use Changchun Gong to open up his acupuncture points, he can be cured. Before, Mo Juren found hundreds of people to practice Changchun Gong, but no one succeeded. Until Han Li showed up. Han Li can not only introduce Qi into his body, but he can also officially start practicing. This gives Dr. Mo hope. Is that so? Han Li was in a daze. Unexpectedly, you have practiced for 3 years and have not yet reached the 4th level. This time, when you went out to collect herbs for your teacher, you encountered a strong enemy again. Now, you only have less than a year left to live. Alas, Mo Juren sighed. But I've tried my best. I don't know when the 4th level will be completed. Han Li was also helpless. In 3 years, he had practiced to the 3rd level, which was pretty good. As for the 4th level, he didn't even know how to practice. It won't be long. Mo Juren sneered, suddenly picked up the teacup next to him, and said calmly, as long as you drink this glass of water, you will be like me, with only 1 year left to live. Within 1 year, if you can practice Changchun Gong to detoxify me, I will give you the antidote and keep you safe. This. Han Li's pupils shrank and he subconsciously took 2 steps back, wanting to refuse. Haha, do you think you still have a choice? Mo Juren sneered and glanced at the Iron Slave. The iron slave stood behind Han Li, and a strong sense of oppression came. Han Li's face was dark. Yes, he had no choice at all. He could only drink it. Until at this moment, he saw clearly the true face of Dr. Mo. In order to detoxify, and to live, the help he once provided was just to give back. Just like Mo Juran, let alone the gang, he would die, even if he was tied up, he would die. Therefore, he had to prepare in advance. In the next period of time, he worked hard to practice, but the age of this medicinal herb was simply not enough, and even taking drugs would not work. He really wanted to learn martial arts, but Li Feiyu said that he had no internal strength, unable to practice martial arts at all. Han Li had no choice but to get rid of Li Feiyu to help find martial arts. That's when Han Li fell asleep and was suddenly awakened by green lights. He turned around and saw that thing. Surprisingly, it was the glowing little green bottle he picked up before. It lit up again. Han Li stood up, grabbed the little green bottle, and gently opened the stopper. This time, he was a little surprised. Before, he couldn't pull it open no matter what, but now, he opened it gently. He looked at the small green bottle. He could see that at this time, some liquid gathered in the small green bottle. Han Li was stunned. Looked at the flower pot next to him, thought about it again, and naturally did not drink it, but dropped the liquid into the flower pot. He waited for the change, but after looking at it for a long time, the flower pot did not change at all. He shook his head and didn't care, and went to sleep, until the next day, Han Li woke up. He was shocked. It was just a seedling before, but when he woke up the next day, the seedling turned into a seedling. The tree. There was such a change overnight. At this moment, Han Li was excited. Soon, he tested the efficacy of the liquid inside the small green bottle. It can promote the growth of plants. Of course, it cannot be placed on animals. But light knowing this is enough to stimulate the growth of plants. Doesn't this mean that he can have enough herbs to make elixirs? At this moment, countless people in the world saw the scene and laughed. Got it? Good guy, Han Li's golden finger has finally arrived. By the way, something seems a bit strange. What Han Li practices is not internal strength or true energy. Could this Zhangchun Gong be an immortal cultivation method? Regardless of whether it is a technique for cultivating immortals or not, well, I feel that this little green bottle is a bit interesting anyway. It ripens medicinal herbs. Sure enough, this proves that Han Li can come up with the source of countless precious medicines. Ripening herbs, making elixirs, and taking elixirs to improve your cultivation level. Tisk, this is not about cultivating immortals. What? He is indeed cultivating immortality, but Dr. Mo, I thought he was a good master before, but he didn't expect that in the blink of an eye, he would become like this. King Li's, this is normal. I finally see hope, so how can I let this hope slip away in vain? It's just a pity. If Dr. Mo was kinder to Han Li and told his heart, maybe Han Li would really help Dr. Mo, but now, Dr. Mo is against Han Li and has offended the son of fate. Tisk tisk, you can imagine the end. By the way, where did this piece of iron go? Hey, it's just a supporting role, just leave now. To be honest, I still think this little green bottle is useful for promoting the growth of medicinal herbs. I just don't know if this thing can be a ripening elixir. Oh, elixirs are also a type of medicinal herbs. Since they can ripen ordinary herbs, ripening elixirs is not a big problem. If it is really what I imagined, Han Li will take off directly in the future. It's medicine that contains 3 parts of poison. If you take too much of this elixir, do you think it's good? Indeed, it is the medicine that contains 3 parts of the poison. Taking too much of the elixir is not good, and may even hinder your practice. But obviously, Han Li only has 1 year left to live, and it doesn't matter whether he is poisonous or not. At this moment, everyone was discussing. The upper limit of Han Li's golden finger made them look forward to it. At the same time, they were also discussing what this golden finger was. Although only a few parts were shown now, it was already incredible. Ripening herbs. What countless people lack is herbs. At this moment, you can see that in the golden list of the avenue, the picture is turning. Han Li takes drugs every day to practice, and at the same time, he is still practicing the sword skills brought by Li Feiyu. In under the pressure of death, he naturally worked hard. He made progress day by day and became stronger day by day. 6 months later, Han Li finally broke through the 4th level of Changchun Gong. With his current strength, it is not a problem to deal with some minions. As his strength improves, quick, even Li Feiyu was surprised. 6 months later, pills, poisons, and daggers were all ready for him to deal with Mr. Mo. It was time to get to know Mr. Mo. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 59. Mo Lao Yao. Within the mortal world. Han Li looked at everything happening in the picture and fell into deep thought. Back then, if Dr. Mo hadn't made him realize that people's hearts are sinister, maybe he would have a different look and character now. He smiled and shook his head. Although Dr. Mo was not a good person, he taught him a lot of things. Now, looking back at everything that has happened to me, I feel a lot. At this time, you can see in the picture, the 1-year period has arrived. Han Li also successfully broke through the 4th level of Changchun Gong. Of course, Han Li naturally had reservations. Based on the efficacy of his little green bottle, all kinds of elixirs are almost making you want to vomit. The improvement in strength is even more rapid. Han Li had already broken through to the 4th level of Changchun Gong 6 months ago, let alone another 6 months. Now, Han Li's strength will only become stronger, not just at the 4th level. There is no doubt that if it weren't for Dr. Mo's threat, Han Li would not hide his strength. And now, soon, everyone saw the duel between Han Li and Mo Juren through the Dao Golden List. It has to be said that Mo Juren is still very strong. No matter how well prepared Han Li was, it was of no use. This battle is definitely the most dangerous battle that Han Li has ever experienced. At first, Han Li made a sneak attack. He didn't care if a sneak attack harmed his reputation. It is good to survive. But Mo Juren is Mo Juren, and he is a martial arts master after all. Han Li's 3-legged cat skills can't hurt him at all. In an instant, Han Li was put at a disadvantage. But soon, Han Li used smoke bombs again. After practicing for such a long time, Han Li has long been accustomed to fighting in smoke bombs. For a while, he got into trouble with Dr. Mo again. But obviously, Dr. Mo is still stronger. Strength determines everything. All conspiracies and plots are nothing but rubbish in the face of absolute strength. Seeing that Han Li was pressed under the bookshelf and unable to move, he saw that Mo Juren was about to step forward and attack Han Li. However, at this moment, buzz! The power of Changchun Kung exploded, and he dodged and forcibly broke away from the control of the bookshelf. He grabbed the dagger and opened the door suddenly. The sun shone brightly, making Mo Juren unable to open his eyes. In this gap, Han Li fiercely stepped forward on the ground and stabbed Mo Juren in the leg. Haha, it's over, 987. Han Li exhaled a long breath, slumped on the ground, and finally had a smile on his face. What's the meaning? Mo Juren was stunned and asked in astonishment. But then, he only felt waves of pain coming from his body. He looked at the wound on his leg and smiled. Haha, is the knife poisonous? Ha ha ha. Obviously he has been poisoned, but at this moment, Amo Juran can still laugh out loud and seems not worried at all. Stop pretending. Tell me quickly, where is Zhangtai? There's no way he's going home, Han Li shouted lowly. He. Amo Juran smiled, looked at Han Li and said, you are so smart, can't you guess it? You killed him. Han Li was stunned and looked at Amo Juran in disbelief. Amo Juran had no need to explain, and just shouted, Thai slave, catch him. Han Li's pupils shrank and he suddenly turned his head. But then, he saw a huge fist appearing in front of his eyes, and then his vision went dark and he fell unconscious. Countless people saw the scene and were all stunned. Stunned. Good guy, the son of luck has stretched his crotch now. Is this resolved? I have to say that this Han Li has hundreds of tricks, but it's a pity that Zhang is still too old. I have to say that Amo Juran city is indeed deep, and compared to Amo Juran, Han Li is still a bit young. By the way, is Han Li just gone? No way. No way. After a while, his strength improved rapidly, but in the end, he was defeated by Amo Juran? Tisk tisk. You can't say that. How old is Han Li at this time? You don't even know that people's hearts are sinister, so you are comparing yourself to this old man? It's normal for Han Li to lose. If he can win, that's not right. So, I want to know now, how will Han Li fight back next? No, I still don't understand what Amo Juran's intentions are. I always feel that things are not that simple. At this moment, everyone was discussing. Han Li had been taken to a certain cave by Amo Juran. Now that things have come to this, don't let me down. At this time, Amo Juran said quietly. Immediately, another voice suddenly sounded, my remaining soul is in your hands, how can I harm you? There is absolutely no problem with my technique. If there is any deception, heaven and earth will destroy me. Go, go, go. Spiritual roots and immortal fate are all yours, all of them. At this moment, Han Li was stunned. Why were there two voices? He couldn't figure it out. At this moment, the pupils of all the worlds shrank when they saw the scene and heard these words. Boy, what do I hear? Soul. Spiritual roots. Immortal fate? This world is far from as simple as we see. Is this actually a world of cultivating immortals? This Han Li just hasn't entered the immortal sect yet. Alas, when you said that, I became interested in the world of cultivating immortals. Starting from a mortal and climbing to the top step by step. Good guy, it turns out to be a world of immortality. Then Han Li, with that little green bottle, wouldn't he be going against the will of heaven? No, in this situation, whether Han Li can survive is a question. At this time, everyone was discussing. They are really interested. As long as they know that this mortal world is not a low-level martial plane, that's fine. Since they are cultivating immortals, they are naturally interested. But at this time, you can see that in the picture. Han Li was in a trance, a little stunned. He didn't know why there were two voices, and he didn't know what Dr. Emo wanted to do. When he saw Dr. Emo, he was holding two knives, which looked like needles. The thing walked in front of him. At this moment, Han Li was really panicked. What do you want? I can help you, Han Li said quickly. However, Emo Juran spoke slowly, and two voices came from his mouth. You are already helping me. Ha ha ha. He laughed wildly and inserted the dagger into his body. It was as if there was another remnant soul in his body. Dr. Emo was laughing. He inserted the dagger into his body one by one. Finally, the 7 daggers after everything was inserted into the body, Dr. Emo sat down cross-legged and shouted 7 ghosts eat souls. He he he. At the same time, a little red light appeared on the top of the dagger. Like a ghost, it got into Han Li's body in an instant. Han Li was stunned and fell to the ground in a daze. At the same time, in Han Li Sea of Consciousness, a snake and a cloud of smoke. Amo Juran, this person is mine. Yu Zitong, you are indeed cheating. Two different voices sounded. One belongs to Amo Juran, and the other is very strange. And these two people are competing for Han Li's light group. This is, seizing the body. Countless people in the world saw the scene and were in a daze again. They quickly figured out the whole story, and then, countless people were stunned again. Good guy, this Amo Juran actually carries a remnant soul with him? Isn't this the standard template for the protagonist? Damn it, seize Han Li's body? Good guy, let me tell you, why does Amo Juran try so hard to help Han Li? In the end, it was because he wanted to seize Han Li's body. This old guy was worried about Han Li's body from the beginning. Now, actually taking over the body. Tisk tisk, the first taboo in cultivating immortality is to seize the body. By the way, with the remnant soul of the cultivator still there, Amo Juran didn't rise up. Haha, it turns out that not everyone is Xiao Yan. Even if you have the protagonist template, it is useless. What can really grow up depends on chance and luck. Yes, it's useless even if I give you the protagonist template. Amo Juran wants to seize Han Li's body, and Yu Zitong also wants to seize Han Li's body. Tisk tisk, that's interesting. These two guys probably have more than 100 tricks, right? By the way, Han Li was taken away from him, is he still Han Li? Could it be that Yu Zitong took over Han Li's body and controlled the world of cultivation? Alas, it's not impossible, Bip. Yes, Tang San even took the body of Tang Hao's son before. Ha! Is that considered seizing a body? With the memory of the previous life, how can it not be regarded as seizing the body? If Tang Hao trained Tang San himself, would Tang San's final character be like that? Sigh, let's not talk about Tang San, I just want to know now, how is Han Li? Han Li? What can be done? He must have survived by relying on his incredible luck. There is also a chance of failure in seizing the body. Indeed. At this moment, everyone said and looked at the Dao Golden List again. Sure enough, it was just as everyone had guessed. Amo Juran and Yu Zitong took over Han Li, but when they saw Han Li's Sea of Consciousness, they were dumbfounded. Li's ball of golden light was much bigger than the two of them. At this moment, Amo Juran was frightened, and Yu Zitong was also frightened. They finally understood one thing. Han Li was not the fourth level of Changchun Gong. Instead, it was the sixth level of Changchun Gong. Relying on this cultivation and this spiritual consciousness, Han Li swallowed up these two guys. Until Han Li woke up, he didn't know what happened. He only saw that Dr. Mo was dead. However, Dr. Mo now seemed to be 10 years older, in short, his face was haggard and ugly, and he still had his eyes open, looking at him with a look of horror. How could he? It has been confirmed several times, and Han Li still can't believe it. That old, cunning, and cruel Dr. Mo died like this? He now wants to know how Dr. Mo died, and also wants to know all this, the cause and effect of everything. Then, he glanced at a certain light group. Well, that light group was another person's light group that Han Li hadn't eaten all before. Han Li then thought about it. I understood that this guy should be Yu Zitong. It's time to get to know each other again. Let's talk about it. What's going on? Han Li looked at Yu Zitong and asked. The light ball moved, and after a long time, a faint voice came. It seems that you have guessed it. You are worthy of being Amo Juran's disciple, just like him, you are difficult to deal with. Tell me, Han Li asked calmly. All questions, after all, only Yu Zitong can answer them. Yu Zitong couldn't. In the previous confrontation with Han Li, he knew how difficult this kid was, so, I can only open my mouth and start explaining. Speaking of which, I am a victim too. He got to the point. I was originally a casual cultivator. Then, Yu Zitong honestly told Han Li his experience. Of course, in his words, he would naturally package himself as a poor guy who was coerced by Mo Juren, and put all the responsibilities on Mo Juren. Han Li was too lazy to pay attention to these nonsense. He quickly sorted out the key points and authenticity of Yu Zi's fairy tales. It turned out that Yu Zi Tong was a member of a so-called monk family. I have reached the 7th level of practicing Chang Chun Gong, and then, because of my lack of qualifications, my practice has reached a bottleneck and I am unable to build the foundation. There was no other way, so Yu Zitong had no choice but to come to the secular world to experience it. It would also be good if you can find herbs and go back to make elixirs. Of course, it is also possible to pick up fragments of ancient artifacts at a certain stall. The prosperity of the secular world soon made Yu Zitong confused, and he lost himself under the sound of immortal masters. For such disciples who are not strong-willed, the family will naturally cross them out. Yu Zitong didn't even think it mattered. With his current strength, living in the secular world will naturally go smoothly and he will be treated as a guest. However, one day, he suddenly discovered a rare blood spirit grass in the drugstore. He was overjoyed and wanted to buy it. Unexpectedly, another immortal cultivator appeared and discovered this precious medicine. Both of them wanted it, and a dispute broke out. In the end, Yu Zitong bought it at a higher price. But he also knew that the guy would not give up. So, he ran away in a hurry, but unexpectedly, he was overtaken by the man only halfway through the journey. Now, a big battle is inevitable. However, the opponent was much stronger than him. If he hadn't used secret techniques to save his life, he might have been killed and the treasure taken away by then. But he was also seriously injured, and at this time, he happened to meet Dr. Mo. Yu Zitong was a mean-tongued man, so he told Dr. Mo's problem smoothly. Dr. Mo was overjoyed and begged for help. But Yu Zitong himself was seriously injured and needed herbs, so how could he give them to Mo Juren? Mo Juren had no choice but to murder. Killing people to seize treasures was quite normal in the world of cultivation. Therefore, Mo Juren followed Yu Zitong to a deserted place and started poisoning Yu Zitong directly. Yu Zitong, who was already seriously injured, was hit just like that. Well, a cultivator was actually tricked to death by a mortal. In the past, wherever Yu Zitong went, he would always be called Immortal Master by others, but now, he was poisoned by the ants in his eyes. All I can say is that this Yu Zitong is really rubbish. This Mo Juren deserves to be called Lao Yinbai. However, Yu Zitong is an immortal cultivator after all. Even after death, his soul can still leave his body. Even before death, he can cast a curse or something like that. But Mo Juren didn't know what happened, so he started touching the body. Pills, exercises. It's a lot of money. But then, the problem arose. Yu Zitong's curse was cast by an immortal cultivator. Mo Juren's body was getting older day by day. As for Yu Zitong, he actually felt uncomfortable because he was about to be assimilated by Mo Juren. He had no choice but to take the initiative to seize the body. There are 3 iron rules for seizing a body. First, those with low mana cannot seize the body of those with stronger mana. This is normal, you can't beat it. Second, you cannot take away the body of a mortal, because the body of a mortal cannot bear it. Third, you can only take possession of a body once in your life. The second time, it will disappear for no reason. Yu Zitong wants to live, and Mo Juren also wants to become an immortal. Naturally, these 2 guys hit it off. Then, what happened next? The final winner became Han Li. At this time, Yu Zitong suddenly said that Mo Juren is despicable and deserves to die, but your innate spiritual roots are a good candidate for cultivating immortals. As long as you are willing to help me regain my body, I can recommend it to you. Please, how about entering the immortal sect? Taking stock of the top 10 golden fingers, the protagonist of Wanjie went crazy. Author, Chirp. Chapter 60. Come on, good guy, did Han Li get Xiao Yan's template? Tisk tisk, Yuzitong, a cultivator of immortality. Plug in. Protagonist template, start. Well, by the way, isn't Han Li's golden finger a little green bottle? This remnant soul. What? Tang San is allowed to have twin martial spirits, but Han Li is not allowed to have two golden fingers, dash. However, Yuzitong's strength is still too rubbish. Yaezun is a dozun after all, but Yuzitong is just in the chi refining period. What a rubbish. What help can you give Han Li? You can't say that. Isn't Han Li's strength low now? Having more children to lead the way will obviously save you a lot of detours. Tisk, we have to see if Yuzitong is really helping. Anyway, I think this Yuzitong is a bit weird, and it is absolutely impossible for him to help Han Li with such peace of mind. At this moment, countless people in the world are discussing Han Li's situation. However, before everyone can finish the discussion, poof, clang. At this moment, you can see that in the picture, Han Li has a cold look in his eyes, a mouthful of poison, and a slash of his sword, directly killing Yuzitong. Stunned. At this moment, countless people in the world were stunned. They started looking at Han Li's conversation with Yuzitong. I thought Han Li would really let Yuzitong go. But in the end, he gave him a knife directly. Killed him directly? Stupid. At this moment, they were all dumbfounded. But then, everyone came back to their senses. Hearing Han Li's words in the Dao Golden List, they quickly understood what Han Li was thinking. Zitong was the only one who could take advantage of himself, the guy whose parents swore poisonous oaths. Han Li can rest assured to use this remaining child. It's a ghost. Immediately, Han Li started searching in the secret room again. Well, he found a box, which contained the secret book of Changchun Gong. He already knew that Changchun Gong Kung Fu is the immortal cultivation technique, so he naturally has to preserve it carefully. Immediately, he found another bell, but he didn't know what it meant. Then, he started groping around on Mr. Mo's body. There were quite a lot of miscellaneous things. See the blood seal, the sleeve arrows in the throat, the poisonous sand soaked in snake venom, the extremely sharp boomerang. Han Li was frightened. If these things were used on him, he could not even imagine his own end. Fortunately, everything was fine. It was over. However, at this moment, the Thai slave suddenly walked in. The next moment, he fought with Han Li without hesitation. Han Li was shocked and hurriedly faced the enemy, trying to persuade Thai slave with words. Slave. Mr. Mo is already dead, and there is no need to serve Mr. Mo anymore. But the iron slave just didn't listen. Until the bell fell, the bell rang, and the iron slave stopped instantly. Han Li was stunned and looked at the bell in astonishment. He stood up, picked up the bell and shook it gently. The iron slave broke out to attack again and came towards Han Li. Han Li hurriedly shook the bell, and then the iron slave stopped. Weird. Very weird. Han Li frowned and looked at the motionless Thai slave. He took a deep breath and reached out to take off Zhang Tai's mask. However, when he saw the face clearly, Han Li stupid. All the worlds were shocked at this moment. Because that face was exactly that of Zhang Tai, who had been missing for a long time. Zhang Tai was trained into some kind of puppet. Han Li immediately became extremely ugly. His once good friend has now become like this. He is stupid. Is this the cruelty of the world of immortality? Han Li trembled with anger. Seeing Zhang Tai's appearance now, he quickly remembered the scroll he found before, and hurriedly opened it to check. Soon, he understood the whole story. This piece of iron was really made puppet. Human puppet technique. Zhang Tai is dead, long dead. Now, he is just a shell. No wonder Dr. Mo wants Zhang Tai to practice the elephant armor kung fu. Co-author, Dr. Mo. Early in the morning he wanted to make Zhang Tai into a puppet. If he hadn't been able to practice the Changchun kung fu, I'm afraid he would have become a human puppet by practicing the elephant armor kung fu. Han Li sighed, and finally, using the blood as a guide, he changed his identity as the master, and gave this body a new name, Kahun. After all, it was the last thought of his friend. Even if Han Li hated him again, both Dr. Mo and Yu Zitong were dead. Suddenly, his expression condensed. I found a letter. That was Dr. Mo's suicide note. Han Li, my disciple. Reading this letter means that I am already dead. The antidote I gave you before can indeed remove the poison, but the antidote itself is poisonous. To remove the poison, only the Nuaniang Bei you passed down from my family can remove it. You can take this letter to Mo Mansion, and after exchanging what she wants with you, my wife will naturally give you Nuaniang Bei you. Han Li, Mo has never explained to others what he has done in his life. The winner and the loser are determined by fate. However, my wife and daughter have nothing to do with this matter. I believe you can make your own judgment. Life is short and ends in dust. Why can immortals travel around the world? And we, mortals, can only be like frogs in a well. Han Li, there are so many beautiful scenery in this world, you should take a good look at them as your teacher. After reading this letter, Han Li looked uncertain, turning blue and purple, and finally let out a long sigh. At this time, countless people in all the world saw the scene and also laughed. Did Mr. Mo really, even think about his failure to seize the body? Count all the mechanisms and take advantage of every step. What a pity. By the way, why didn't Yu Zitong, a rookie in the qi refining stage, survive? Did Mo Juren never think about this possibility? Haha, Yu Zitong? Who is Yu Zitong? But he's just a little clever, greedy for life and afraid of death, and cold-blooded. Even immortal cultivators don't have much potential. The only ones who can survive are Mo Juren and Han Li, who have hundreds of tricks. Exists. Good guy, it's just a contest between two mortals, but it made me marvel and couldn't take my eyes off it. This reversal, and reversal, even if he died, Han Li was tricked. If Mo Juren succeeded in cultivating immortality, wouldn't he be able to defy heaven? A great demon of a generation. If Mo Juren could become an immortal, he would definitely be a great demon. Such scheming is really terrifying. Mo Juren is indeed a talent, but a mortal actually killed an immortal cultivator. Indeed, this Mo Juren is indeed good. If he were not familiar with the monk's methods, it is not certain who will live and who will die in the end. By the way, this Mo Juren is a perfect protagonist template. It's a pity that although it is the protagonist's template, it does not have the protagonist's luck. It's hard to guard against, At this moment, countless people were discussing, and they just felt that Han Li's story was a bit interesting. At this time, in the snow world. This mortal is a bit interesting. My scalp feels numb just looking at it. Su Fengnian looked attentively at everything that happened in the Dao Golden List, and was very emotional. Cultivation. Old Huang was also amazed. I didn't expect that the cultivators were also so cunning and deceitful. Wherever there are people, there are rivers and lakes, even those who cultivate immortals are no exception, Bai Hulian said calmly. Alas, White Fox Face, tell me, are there immortals in our world? Su Fengnian suddenly turned his head, looked at the White Fox Face, and asked curiously. Have no idea, the White Fox Face shook his head. No? If there were immortals, wouldn't this world be in chaos, old Zodiac? Yeah. Su Fengnian thoughtfully. There are immortals, At this moment, a faint voice suddenly sounded. Su Fengnian, Lao Huang, and even Bai Hulian were startled, and suddenly turned their heads. But what they saw was that there was a person sitting on the roof, a person who looked a little, old man with broken arm. "Who are you?" Su Fengnian's expression condensed. Did something dirty come into his house? The white fox face was startled, looking at the guy, a little confused. She actually didn't notice when this old guy appeared. Old Huang was a little surprised and confused. Looking at the old guy, he seemed a bit familiar. Ahem, well, just treat it as an offering. At this moment, a slight cough sounded, and a middle-aged man was seen walking around the corner. That man. Su Xiao. Oh, worship. Su Fengnian nodded, glanced at Lao Huang, then at the guy, rolled his eyes, and asked with a smile, "Senior, did you say there are immortals?" How did the seniors know? Could it be that Senior has seen an immortal? Well, I've never seen it before. The old man picked up his nose, then wiped it on his body, looked at the sky, and said, "Immortal, it's nothing special, but I think Han Li in the mortal world is quite interesting. At the same time, the immortals reverse the world." Well, intrigue. Wan Lin looked at everything that happened in the Dao Golden List, thinking deeply, and at the same time, he was a little surprised. He soon thought of the intrigue between him and Sun Dazu, hundreds of scheming. Fortunately, Sun Dazu was fooled. He has never experienced anything like seizing a body. It's just, to be honest, he felt a little disappointed. In Goldfinger's inventory this time, he wasn't on the list. What is that, Han Li? Before, he was worried about being on the list and exposing himself, but when he saw that he was not on the list, he felt a little disappointed. This is also a human thing. If it's not on the list, it's not on the list. If you are really a child of luck, even if you don't make the list, you can still rise by relying on cheats. It's just that Han Li is more thoughtful and prepared than himself. Is he hiding himself? He is thoughtful. At this time, in the world of Jishan, the periphery of the ancient Forbidden Land. This Han Li, this Mo Juran, this heart is simply too dirty. Pangbo was shuddering and speechless. There were too many reversals. These twists and turns made people's scalp numb. Calculate, Yefan thought. He rarely plots against others, just because there is no need. On the contrary, those guys like to scheme, but he never paid attention to those guys. Fortunately, now, those guys have fallen into the belly of the tiger. Those mortal flies have finally disappeared. I think you still have to learn to be more thoughtful, otherwise, you will be the next Zhang Tai. Yefan chuckled and looked at Pangbo. Moreover, if anyone comes over, I will hit him with my old fist. What do I think he dares to do? Pangbo grinned. Yefan shook his head. Alas, tell me, is the world we live in also filled with immortals? Can you also become an immortal? At this moment, a female classmate's voice sounded. I don't know, we should be almost out of the ancient Forbidden Land now. Only when we go out can we know what this world is like. Then Mr. Lu also spoke like this. Cultivation of immortals. If cultivating immortals is also such a cunning and deceitful thing, Yefan squinted at the Dao Jin list and pursed his lips. In that case, what is the difference between cultivating immortality and the workplace? Forget it, no matter how much it is, as long as you can go out. Pangbo grinned and strode forward. At this moment, all the worlds were amazed by the various intrigues between Han Li and Mo Juran. This kind of reversal is really dizzying for them. At this time, in the mortal world, Tianese, the hidden moon sect. That boy Han Li is actually the son of luck. Nangongwan looked at the Dao gold list and couldn't help but smile a little when she saw the intrigues between Han Li and Mo Juran in the Dao gold list. Unexpectedly, that boy actually had such a past. And that little green bottle? No wonder this boy, although his qualifications are mediocre, he is able to thrive in the world of cultivation. All I can say is that this kid is really good at hiding. At the same time, somewhere in the south of the sky. Senior brother Han, it turns out that you are the son of luck. Chen Qiaoqian looked at Han Li in the picture and the duel between Han Li and Mo Juren. She couldn't help but feel a little dazed for a moment. She had expressed her feelings to Han Li back then. However, at that time, Han Li was only focused on the road and not on the love of his children. She wanted to stimulate Han Li one last time and said that she was getting married, but all she received was the word congratulations. At that time, her heart was broken. But she was not married, she was always waiting for that impossible extravagance, hoping to see the day when Han Li came back. But obviously, it's impossible. Now, being able to see senior brother Han on the Dao Gold list can make up for the regret. But, senior brother Han, do you have me in your heart? What if? She thought about it, but then she became gloomy. Everything was just her own passion. She smiled bitterly and completely buried this feeling in her heart. At this time, somewhere in the south of the sky, there was a mortal city. Inside the pharmacy. Although her appearance remained the same, Mo Kwan, who was somewhat sullen in her eyes, raised her head and looked at the duel between her father and Han Li in the Dao Golden List. She pursed her lips and felt a little dazed. Brother Han. She sighed quietly, recalling the past, but she didn't expect that things have changed now. Her eldest brother Han Li, turned out to be the son of luck. But she is just a mortal without spiritual roots. The two of them cannot come together after all. When he thought about how heavy he once was, he looked at the man in the sky scene and felt a little dazed. Brother Han, are you okay now? She sighed quietly. She really wanted to see Brother Han again. At this time, the scene in the Dao Golden List was still going on. She was naturally very clear about everything that happened next. That was the beginning of her acquaintance with Han Li. At this time, in the chaotic sea of stars, Han Li looked at everything that happened on the screen and sighed with emotion. Old Mo has worked hard to destroy my soul and seize my body to be reborn. I didn't expect that he would send me to this path of cultivating immortals. He relied on the little green bottle to improve his cultivation and had already reached the 6th level of Changchun Gong. As for the 3 major restrictions on seizing the body, Yu Zitong did not tell Mr. Mo. After all, Yu Zitong had evil intentions. But, after all, they still underestimated Han Li. You underestimated him as a mortal. The next step is to officially step into the path of immortality and enter the world of immortality. Han Li looked at the Dao Gold List with a smile on his lips. However, for no reason, he suddenly felt a little frightened. Han Li was stunned and frowned. For a moment, he didn't know where the palpitations came from. Could it be that someone killed someone to seize the treasure? Impossible, he is so hidden, who can detect it? Then, the source of this palpitations should be the Dao Gold List, and this is the next scene. The next scene? Huh. It seems like it's nothing, right? It's just some stories from the mortal period. Among these stories, the one that had the most profound impact on him was its Mo Kwan. Wait, Mo Kwan? Han Li's pupils shrank. At this moment, he suddenly had a bad feeling. Mo Kwan, Chen Qiaoqian, and Nangong Wan. Guru, at this moment, Han Li swallowed.